Okay, so do we have cards? Oh, no, without objection, those items are before us. So now do we have cards on these items?
Yes, sir. Cards on all items.
Okay, we'll hold those. Continue.
Mr. President, that takes council back to presentations or items called special.
Mr. Previn? Mr. Previn, if you come forward. Mr. Previn has cards on items 1 and 14. And we'll give him his general public comment as well. So, Mr. Previn, please come forward. Mr. Previn?
Also item 12, sir. But I will start with item 14.
I don't know if we, in fact, Mr. Previn, hold this time. That was already adopted and sent forth when?
There was no hearing in committee, sir.
No, Mr. Previn. So it's items 1 and 14.
Mr. City
You can
Attorney?
have his time. No, not Mr. City Attorney. Mr. Previn, you're on items 1 and Mr. Clerk, you can move his time. 1 and 14.
Okay, for the record, number 14 is obviously the very important LA Metro item coming forward. I believe it's Measure M that people are looking to move forward and support. The County Board of Supervisors is the one who put it together. The proposed ordinance is to improve freeway traffic, repave local streets, create jobs, which has been challenged, and authorize traffic improvement and continue the existing half-cent traffic relief tax until voters decide to end it. Now, the folks who are challenging it legally in the item, which I read about, are concerned about a number of things. One, they feel that that you guys have violated the law, or the people who made this, by accepting the ballot title and label in an unlawful form for printing and distribution to the elections in LA County. They're concerned that the language in particular that you use at the end, until voters decide to end it, is vague, they feel, confusing and also misleading, and they feel that it prejudices voters in a way. And in fact, the language should not be misleading, and it must reasonably inform the voter of the character and the real purpose of the proposed measure. And what they're upset a little bit about, sir, is that nowhere does it mention the tunnel from Sherman Oaks, affluent community A, to the West Side, affluent community B. And they feel that they feel that there should be that should be explicit, and they also feel that the amount of money, which is about $800 and something million per year, should be explicit. That this is what this is going to generate. And the biggest issue is that they're concerned that by referring to it as a little half-cent temporary matter, you're not stating the truth, which is what this, if you vote for this purpose, you should be voting for a 1 cent permanent. So, you know, I think people are sympathetic to the fact that we need to do something, but there is serious concern. And, you know, when the city resources are being deployed as they are, we take notice. And item number 12, which is the item to extend the lease at Union Bank for the 6th floor ITA facility for Channel 35, where hashtag Blumenfields knows this telecast is originated. We're going to move it to the Merced Theater, sir, per your $23 million initiative. And quite frankly, that has caught the public's attention, because this is a body that should not be building a television studio to lather itself up. This is, in fact, a body that should be providing affordable housing with the appropriate ADA-compliant housing and various other things that you've not been doing. And so to try to sneak this through under the suggestion that you took hearing in committee when there were, in fact, no cards submitted during that hearing in committee, and to then try to deny the public the opportunity to actually address that matter is a complete abnegation of your professional responsibility. And quite frankly, people should know that what you are conceiving is a state-of-the-art. And I want to just take a moment to compliment Blumenfield and Channel 35 on what they do a nice job. These guys are doing a kind of a Pravda newscast. And I'm not saying it should be the investigative journalism place, but when you take your own city rules, violate them repeatedly, like Council Rule 93, sir, which requires that you frame everybody the same, but you'll note right now on this channel, And by the way, ITA guys, you should take out the bleeding in of the Spanish into the English track, as Sean and other members of the public have noted. But you'll see that I'm tiny. I appear, in fact, the size of hashtag Blumenfield's nose. So this is the problem with the item 12 on your agenda today. Even though we understand it's only a 13-month delay and that all these millions of dollars are going to be working nicely to get a nice set of barbershop chairs for all of the council members to get haircuts and look great on television. But to be fair, sir, you ought to do the right thing and put it on the agenda where the rest of the public can understand what you're up to, okay? So I'd appreciate that. Thank you.